Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video. So I've been playing Fahkumram for a few days now. I'm really enjoying the character. Spent a lot of time with him, loving a lot of different stuff. And as I promised you guys, I am going to do a series of anti-Fahkumram guides. Today we're starting off that process, looking at his strings and how to deal with them. There's a lot of really good option selects that you can do against his strings. We're going to waste no time because there are a lot of strings to go over because he does have a lot of strings, right? He's a very mix-up heavy string-based character, right? Before we go through all the different sections of strings, the first thing we need to be aware of is that when Fahkumram has his install, the guard breaks will have a reversal break on them. Just like the back forward 4, the guard breaks have the same thing with GARUDA force. Right, so really key thing to be aware of, because I see a lot of people using power crushes to beat the string mix-ups. So be very careful about using power crushes. That means heat burst as well, and parries, and other things of the like when Fahkumram is in heat or he has one charge of his install. When you see it glowing in the top left, you know it's time to be careful about using power crushes, right? I mean, that goes for in general against Fahkumram, because, this will beat power crushes. That includes heat bursts. A lot of people try and get out of pressure by popping their heat, right? So something to really be aware of. I can't stress that enough. So the first set of strings we're going to look at are the ones that start off his one jab. So he has 1-4, high, -8. It's his 10 frame punish as well. The next one he has is 1-2-1-4. Which is high, mid, ending in -14. He can delay the third and the fourth hit, meaning that if he hit confirms that third hit, the fourth one is guaranteed. This is very good against the wall because it wall splats and it's hit confirmable. Bear in mind, the third hit is -10, so you can call him out for this and punish him here. 1-2-4-3-4. The knee is -5, and it does have a little cancel in there. And the same goes for 1-2-4-3-4, which is the full charge, making it +9. Again, high, mid, just like the 1-2-4-3-4. And then he can do the same thing. Oh, and you do a homing cancel here, which is -7. You can do 1-2-4-4. High, low. -15 is the low. And then you can do 1-2-4-3, which is high, which is -8. And now I'm going to show you what you can do against these strings. So 1-4, we're going to skip over 1-4 because it doesn't really matter that much. You can duck the second hit, but it's not really what we want to do against these strings to option select. I have to change characters because Fahkumram has a terrible sidestep. My bad, guys. Give me a second. We're going to go to Heihachi because Heihachi has a pretty average sidestep. So this means that this OS, like this option select, will work for most characters. So it probably does work for your characters, unless you're playing the Bears or Jack. This should work. Right, so 1-2-1-4, if he delays the last hit, you can sidestep right. If he doesn't delay this, you cannot sidestep. So that's 1-2-1-4. Sidestep right block again. You will end up blocking this most of the time, but sometimes you will end up evading it. If you do it late like this, you will evade the knee, but it's not really what we want to do. Don't worry, we'll go over what you can do against all these strings and the best option. Again, sidestep right block beats the charge. Really important. This will beat the charge every time. Next, we have the homing cancel. Sidestep right block, and you will recover in time to block the homing because the homing is so slow. And then we have the low, which you can also sidestep right. I did not think that you'd be able to do this, but you can. And then the last one is the high, right? Which sidestep right does not work against. So, in short, the sidestep right block after the third hit, whether it's the mid punch or the high kick, sidestep right block will beat all of these. As you can see, even the low. So that is your option select. Sidestep right block. I fucked up. My bad, guys. It's because I'm talking, right? You guys know when I start talking. See what happens? I start talking and I mess up. But as you can see, sidestep right block does evade everything. Most of the time, you will end up blocking that knee, right? But everything else you will be able to option select. The only thing this does not work against is the 1, 2, 4, 4, the high. This one right here. This is going to clip you, the last hit here. Bear in mind, these are all highs, so he does put himself at risk. It's very unlikely that the FAHKUMRA'M is going to do this, but you never say never. Like, he could just do this. So decisive right block after the third hit is best. It works against the 1, 2, 1, 4 delayed. It does not work against the instant 1, 2, 1, 4. You'll be able to option select everything apart from the 1, 2, 4, 3, the high, 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 high. Most of the time, you will end up blocking the non-charge version. You will end up blocking that, but you will still be able to sidestep right block, and you will still block that, leaving FAHKUMRA'M at -5, and you can take your turn back. Another thing I should mention, when he does any of these cancels, you can interrupt him anytime he spins. This will also go for the homing cancel that he has in other variations of other strings, right? So we can do like this, right? If he does this, don't worry, we'll go over this, but I just want to put it here just so you guys know, in case some of you don't watch the whole video, which is fine, by the way. But I want you guys to know before you click off that you can interrupt this. It is not a jailing string. Very important to know you can interrupt these. And also, the frames you can interrupt these with are 17 frames or less. Believe it or not, you have a lot of time to hit your button there. Moving on, there is some other stuff you can do, nitty-gritty stuff with these strings, but in the interest of time, we're going to move on because I don't want this video to go on forever, and we've got a lot of different strings to cover. So, moving on, we're going to look at the strings starting with the 3 button. There are a lot of strings here. String variations, but you'll be pleasantly surprised, I think, when you look at the option selects that we actually have. Right, so I'm just going to record all of these and I'll be with you in a second. Looking at these strings, we have 3, 1, 2, and this is going to get a bit scary, right? You're going to be like, there are so many different string variations, how am I supposed to know what to do? But don't worry, there's a very simple answer for these. 3, 1, 2, mid, high, high, 0 on block, you can delay the last hit. You can sidestep the last hit, even if it's delayed or not. It's not super important for what we're going to do. There's a much better option than this, but it is something there if you want to know. Just a little bit of extra information. He has 3, 1, 4, mid, high, mid. The last hit is slightly delayable. It's -14. You can also sidestep right the last hit if it's slightly delayed. You can sidestep right this as well. 3, 1, down, 4. Mid, high, low. -15. Slightly delayable again. The last hit is always slightly delayable on these. 3, 4. Mid, mid. -12. Delayable. He has 3, 4, 3. This cancel into -7. Mid, mid. 3, 4, 3. Hold for the full charge. 3, 4, 3. Hold back for -7 homing. And then 3, 4, 4. This is also the just frame that you probably see in FAHKUMRA'M'S combos. So, with that being said, because the 3, 1 is a high, for almost all of these, the option select that I have for you guys, which beats all but one option, is to do a dick jab. But not just a dick jab, because if we try and dick jab here, that high, that 1, will hit us. So we have to duck and then jab. Duck and then jab. Bear in mind that he might just do the 3. So be aware of that, right? So you might get low parried. But if he goes for any of these, a duck into dick jab, crouch jab, will beat everything but one option. It will only get beaten by the mid, right? Which can't hit knocks down for a guaranteed forward 1+2. However, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different string variations, and the duck into dick jab beats all of them but that 3, 4 mid, right? It's a risk for him being at -12, obviously, so that is your option select. Because they're all charges or it's a high, means you can interrupt the charges and you're just ducking the high anyway before you do the dick jab. So all you really have to worry about with this is he going to do the 3, 4 or is he not? Is he going to do this string or is he not? Right? As soon as that third kick, as soon as that left leg comes up for the kick, you have to make a decision, right? But to be honest, I'd be thinking about this before he does this string. This is why I'm doing this video for you guys, so you can get into your minds what this player might do if he does that, and then build it into muscle memory, you know? And then during the match, think to yourself, okay, if he does that again, that third kick, I'm going to duck into a jab, or I'm just going to stay standing, right? They're the decisions you want to make for this string. Moving on, we have strings starting off with the 2 button. We have 2-1 and 2-3. They're the only two from this. Bear in mind, the 2-3 can be slightly delayed, and the 2-1 is a high into -12, right? So, to be honest, with this, even though you can interrupt this, even if it's not delayed, I would just stay standing. It's a much safer option. He's -12 if he does the high. If he does the mid, it resets back to neutral, and it's fine again. So that's what I would do. That would be my suggestion. Moving on, we are going to look at strings starting off with the 4 button, this right leg. So he has 4-3, high, -7, 4-3-4, the cancel into the charge, which is -5, high, mid. Yeah, I can do the charge here, which is +9, and then he can do the homing cancel, right? As always with the charge moves, he can always do that homing cancel. And then he also has 4-4, which is -15, high, low. So very simple with this one, just like with the 1-2-1 strings. After the first kick, you can side step right, block, and you will be safe. Except if I start talking and then fuck up the strings, as you see, right? Always happens when I'm recording these videos. I don't know why. It's so frustrating, guys. I can't believe... Look, why can't I play Tekken? I'm supposed to be able to play Tekken when I'm talking. Anyway, you get the idea, right? If I stop talking, I can actually demonstrate it, right? The most important one to evade here, with all of these, I would say, is the charge one, right? As you see, it's more reliable to actually step the non-charge knee, right? As you see. Side to right block is your best option against these. Like with all of the string variations, there's always going to be one which isn't option selectable, and it is the high, right? If you try and step after the first hit, obviously you're going to get clipped, right? So something to be aware of. Side to right block after the first hit, you might end up blocking the non-charge, but you're actually more reliably going to sidestep the non-charge and the other strings that go into the non-charge variation. This does not beat 4-3, like I've just said. Also, between the 4-3 and the 4-4, like you can just duck if you want to make a hard read. If he never does the charge variation from this, you can make a hard read, right? And you can launch him either way, but do that at your own risk because it is very risky. And you might end up eating a guard break if he has his Garuda force, right? You might not be able to react in time for him doing the cancel animation. Bearing in mind, as always, you can interrupt these charge moves. Always, with all the charge moves, you can interrupt them. Always interrupt them. You have 17 frames to work with here. So there's something to think about as well. Another option you have to beat these, which I failed to mention, is you can just dick jab after the first hit. But be careful, because if you dick jab too early, this will counter hit you this low. If you're trying to dick jab and he goes for this low, you will get counter hit for 38 damage. So that's not really what we want. So that is another option select you can do. And that dick jab will beat. He will beat this, this, and this. But it won't beat this unless you're very, very precise, and it is risky. So there are 2 different option selects you have there now. Use whichever one is preferable to you and reading the situation correctly. Moving on to his forward 3 strings. So he has forward 3-2-1, mid high, -5. It is also delayable. The third hit is delayable. Next we have forward 3-2-4. Oh, that's the wrong string. Forward 3-2-4, -12 again. The third hit is slightly delayable as well. We have forward 3-2-4-3, Again, the charge version. And then we also have the homing, as always, with all of these charges. We also have an additional one, which is this homing high cancel, making these strings actually pretty good for Fahkumram. So what that means is you can't option select between these strings, right? You can't sidestep. It means that the usual option select, which is side step right block against the charge moves, right? The charge variations. It will not work in this circumstance because there are too many variations, right? The side step right block will not work here against forward 3-2-1, forward 3-2-4, and forward 3-2-4-4. It will not work against these. But if he's only doing the charge from these charge variations, you can always sidestep right block. Another little bit of information is that you can step the last hit of this string if it's fully delayed. If it's not fully delayed, you won't step it. Maybe that's useless information, but in the interest of giving you guys the most amount of knowledge, you can do that. Because these charge moves do the cancel, even with this move right here, you can interrupt all of them. So if he doesn't do the full string and he goes into the cancels here for the homing high, which is +3, or the charge moves, you can always interrupt them here. Just remember that. Just be very careful about power crushes, mind you. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you will get your reversal broken if he is in heat or he has Garuda force outside of heat. Moving on, we're going to look at his down forward 1 extensions. And again, these ones are actually pretty good. So just like forward 3-2 strings that Fahkumram has, he has 2 different strings, mid-mid and mid-high, right? And then the rest are the charge, the full charge, homing cancel, and he also has the homing high as well out of this. So, going over the strings very quickly, downward 1-2, mid-mid, -13. You can power crush interrupt this or heat burst if you so choose, but be careful because he has a heat engager in down forward 1-4. Why did it do that? In down forward 1-4, which also wall splats, which is mid-high. Now, for these strings, just very, very quickly, a really useful bit of information, I think, is that you can actually fuzzy between these two. You can actually fuzzy these. Happens to me a lot online when I play Fahkumram. These get fuzzied. So if you're playing against a Fahkumram that doesn't do any of the charge cancels out of this is your option select. However, he can just do his charge cancels, right? Again, a good Fahkumram won't just use these extensions. They'll use other ones. But anyway, just a little thing there, little side note. Again, with all of these cancels, you can interrupt them. This is your option select. You kind of have to split these up, even though they start with the same move, down forward 1. But you can interrupt all of these cancels, you know, just to hammer it home. So you get this guys in your memory. You have downward 1 for 3. You have the full charge, the homing cancel, and now we have the homing high, which is +3 on block, right? With a blue spark for good chip damage. So you can sidewalk right block or sidestep right block to beat the charge, non-charge, and the homing cancel. But then again, he can just do this, right? So be very, very careful about doing that. I would say that a power crush is actually a good option to beat some of these options, because the power crush, if he is not in heat, will beat everything except for down forward 1-4. So if he does this, you won't be able to power crush in between. However, if he does any of these moves, as you can see, you can power crush through them, right? Just again, be very, very aware that when he is in heat or he has his Garuda force, he will reversal break through your power crush and you will get fully launched. So be very, very careful. So that kind of covers that string variation. Again, you can interrupt the charge versions with a dick jab or a down forward 1 or a 1 jab. Remember, you have 17 frames to work with here. And that covers down forward 1. Not the best options, but still some good options that you can use there. Next, we're going to move on to down forward 2 variations, which aren't that crazy. He has down forward 2-3, which is his 15 frame launcher, and then he has down forward 2-1, which is a mid-mid instead of a mid-high. Now the thing is, you might think, let me just duck the high. The thing is, you get knocked down, right? So you want to be very, very careful, right? To be honest, with these two, you don't want to get hit by anything really. So safer option is to just block -13 either way. Take your punish. Also, these are possible too fuzzy, but there is no need because both are punishable. And also, if you end up fuzzying the high, by the time you react to the fact that you fuzzied it, you won't be able to get more than like a 10 frame punish anyway. So it's just worth just waiting that out and punishing it. Moving on, we have 2 more strings. We have down forward 4-1, which is a mid-high. If he'll do it, please. Please, Fahkumram, do it. There we go. Mid-high, which is -6 for Fahkumram. And then he has a mid-mid, which is -12. To be honest with these two, I would just wait them out. I wouldn't try and take a read like duck in the high because there's no point. You are still +6. You are not minus here. I would just wait these animations out. It is possible to fuzzy these, but it's very, very difficult. It's just safer to take your turn back when he's done these 2 moves. So the last set of strings we have are starting with down 3, this -16 low. So he has down 3-4-3, which is low, high, high. He has down 3-4-3-4, which is the cancel into the mid D. He has the charge variation, which is +9. And then he has the homing cancel as always. He also has down 3-4-4, which is low, high, low, leaving him at -15. So very simple for this one. Because it is all low, high variations, we can just get hit by the low and then launch, right? Every single time. Apart from, there is one variation here, which is a little troublesome, which is the low, high, high. If we try and take our launch here, like our actual launch, and we don't do something like a while standing 4 or a while standing 1, right? If we go for the full launch and we're not super quick, we will get counter hit, and that is a full launcher, right? So be very, very careful about doing this. The next safest option that you can do is just to crouch, avoid the highs, and dick jab. And this is a cover all basis option that is safe. You don't get a huge reward, but it's still your turn at +6, and you've dealt some damage, right? So a dick jab after eating the low will always work here. And now that I'm not talking as much, I can actually demonstrate this properly. So this is a non-mix-up string. You can always option select it. You can dick jab everything. You can risk taking a punish, but do be aware of this low, high, high, because the last hit will counter hit you and it will launch you. And then the very last string that we're going to go over is one that he gets from GARUDA 4s, or all the time when he's in heat, because he always has GARUDA 4s in heat. It is the forward 1-2-1. This is a string that I abuse a lot in ranked because right now people just don't know how to option select it. But after today, you will be laughing in every Fahkumram player's face when they try and do this, including mine, because it is very, very easy to option select. After the first 2 hits, slice it right, you will get this every single time, and you will get Fahkumram'S booty, and you will be able to launch him. So really do take advantage of that. Even if the Fahkumram doesn't do the 3rd hit, he is -14. You won't be able to get a punish. You won't be able to react in time to get a punish, but it will still be your turn. Most likely the Fahkumram player won't do anything. Well, they might do something to be aware of, is they might press 1+2 here. which is the Power Crush. It's like King's Power Crush, but he gives Fahkumram his Garuda force. So I'll quickly show you that now. So if I do this, so do be aware if the Fahkumram just does the 2 hits and then into the 1+2, just be aware that that can happen and he will parry you, or Power Crush parry you into the Rama mix. A good option here against this would be a throw if you think that he's gonna do that. If you think he's gonna do 2 hits and then do 1+2, the throw is always good. That covers all of the strings. This took me a very long time to make because there was a lot that I had to research for this character. If you did find this guide useful, please do me a favor and leave a like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm pick me up. And if you're new here and you want to find your way back, hit the subscribe button down below. Look out for new anti-guides on Fahkumram. Strings is not where we're going to end with Fahkumram. We're going to do anti-Fahkumram, all of Fahkumram, right? I've said Fahkumram way too many times. And also, I do have another Heihachi anti-guide to do, which will wrap up the series, which is the anti-Heihachi Warrior's Instinct guide. So look out for that as well if you're interested. That's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you found this useful. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next one.